Hello. Tonight we will be talking with Daniel Karam, who is the Green Party candidate running for Missouri State House District 37. Thanks for coming over tonight, Daniel, and talking with us. I'm just going to jump into some questions for you and get your point of view here. First question, we'll just start off with some personal questions. What got you interested in politics? And why did you decide to join the Green Party and run as a Green Party candidate?
Well, I guess I could say that what interested me in politics was things that are wrong. I write, and I've associated the word right, which, you put down ideas, thoughts, with the word right, R-I-G-H-T, to do what is right. So in that association, it has to do with, okay, there's something wrong, now can it be made right? And so with writing, I have made efforts and attempts to address things that are wrong with the hope and idea of making them right. It's pretty simple. Hopefully not too simple, but pretty simple.
All right. Well, that's directly and to the point. Kind of on the same vein. What experiences in your life have best prepared you to succeed in the office that you're running for?
Well, I'll tell you, Nathan, I don't have a college degree. I've thought about running for office, and I thought, what would qualify me to run and represent thousands of people, tens of thousands, whatever. And the idea has come to me that I would do my best to hire the most competent and best people as aides, that as issues, questions come up, I would go to them and ask, for them to do research, to do work, so that I can represent the people that I am appointed to represent as best as I can.
Well, all right. So, kind of diving into your kind of platform, what's important to you. If you had to pick one subject that is most important for your campaign, what is it? Why is it so important? And what is your approach to addressing this subject once in office?
Okay. I'm the one some people are warning you about. I'm, in a manner of speaking, what some people would refer to as a hippie left socialist who wants to dismantle capitalism. I would say that the economy is the largest item that I would focus on, to tackle, change, to fix. I feel like our economy is broke, and that the idea of capitalism has come and has gone. And the planet, what are we up against? We're up against the planet, and the planet is not going to allow things to go on as they've been going on, in my estimation. And I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but I foresee that certain things are going to get worse, such as the storms, superstorms, because there's an imbalance. There's an imbalance when people are polluting and are not taking responsibility for what they're doing for short-term profits. And the idea that, 0.1%, their policies are being heard, they're getting what, pretty much what they want, but it's not good for the planet. And the planet will have a way of balancing itself. So I would say that the economy is the number one focus, and taxes would be a big issue.
All right. Well, you kind of touched on it in your answer there, but I kind of want to challenge you to just kind of drill into it a little bit more about the global climate crisis. What is your analysis of that, and what do you see as the best way forward to address this emergency?
Okay. Well, like I say, we're polluting, and we're not taking responsibility, and it's going to the future generations to deal with. And the idea that there's not going to be enough food, there's not going to be enough clean water, there's not going to be enough clean air in the future is troublesome. It's a big problem. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to let it continue on and get worse? Or are we going to do something about it? Can we do something? What can we do about it? Well, that's this idea of dismantling capitalism. And I just wish people would understand that I'm not against America. I do not want to destroy America. I'm a proponent and supporter of democracy. And if you give it some thought, you'll be able to see that capitalism is not about democracy. What I want to do is save democracy. Like I say, the 1/10 of 1% in this country and in the world, they have too much power. I'm coming up with an idea of tax billionaires to the point where they no longer are billionaires. And why would I say that? I mean, isn't it a bit ridiculous that we have these people that are referred to as billionaires, and what are they doing? They're trying to make another billion or more billions? Well, to me, if you want to know of something that's immoral or obscene, now this is an idea that I think is really wrong. Now, if a person makes $1 billion within a year, I mean, I kind of wonder, can they do something else other than make money? I mean, they've already made $1 billion, and there's another 3 months left in the year. You think they could figure out something to do other than to try to make or start making another billion? I think that they should be able to do something or figure something out. We have to have a change. We have to be able to work on something other than greed. When we have greed as the basis of our success, we have problems. And the problems are going to get worse, and the solutions are going to be more radical. And if we don't come up with the solutions or help come up with the solutions, the planet has a way of solving certain problems. And if we're causing the pollution, the planet will have a way of dealing with that. And it will have a way of dealing with what is causing that. And that's what I foresee.
Well, I like that. So you're talking about our current growth-based capitalist economy and about how it's threatening a habitable future for us on the planet. It's also utterly failed to provide our communities with sufficient access to resources such as healthcare, education, housing. Give us your analysis of this economic system and how an eco-socialist Green Party alternative would function differently to address these and other shortcomings.
Well, healthcare. I mean, and rent, housing, basic necessities, food. The, the, the idea of using these things, these basic necessities, to put people into positions of servitude is not a healthy thing for society. Now, focusing on healthcare. Oh, these people, they have these corporations, whatever, they have multi-millions of dollars. All right, some guy's kid gets sick, breaks his arm, or look at the pandemic. All right, now we do have hospitals, we do have technology, we do have a lot that can do something to fix a broken arm, to take care of somebody who's having respiratory problems. We have a lot of technology. We have a lot of advancement in medicine. With cancer, we have a lot of advancement through the years in treating such things. But do we have the will? Do we have the understanding? Do we have the mindset to take care of people? That's, in my estimation, the question. And it's going to continue to be the question until the answer becomes yes. We do have the will. We do have the foresight. We do have the afterthought. We do have the want to take care of people who are sick. And that'll only make our country stronger. You know, whether it's dental, whether it's eye care, whether it's mental, whatever it is, we do have a lot of abilities to address certain things, and we should be using them to help people, to get them to the point where they're well, they're healthy, and are able to operate on an optimum level. There's all different kinds of ideas against that, but I think those ideas are going to have to fall by the wayside in order to take care of people.
I like that. I like that. So say you, with your vision, actually get elected to this position, which is obviously your intention. Given that there is currently a hostile corporate chokehold on our government, how do you plan to be successful in this environment and expand the people's power in that elected office?
Well, I'll tell you, I ran for State House of Representatives in 2002 in the state of Michigan. And I came up with some ideas, and war against greed is one of them. I wrote down struggling for freedom, the 1770s, the American Revolution as a beginning. And then about 100 years later, in the 1860s, we had the Civil War. Okay, 100 years after that, 1960s, we had civil rights. Now in the present, I see that the struggle is for economic equality, war against greed. Without bloodshed through the voting booth. Let our heroes be those who alleviate suffering. Now, one thing that I see that I didn't pursue a career in politics, even though I saw that it could do some good, is because, wow, man, I'm going to have to fight. And back then I was thinking, I don't want to have to fight for a living, to make a living, to live, to exist, to make progress. But in hindsight, I realized I have to. People have to fight in order to accomplish something. And if I would have had that understanding back then, I would have probably continued. But I realize it now, and so here I am. And I realize that there is a lot of opposition. There is a lot of organized negativity. And that's one of my, call it a pet peeve or whatever, is that in the political arena, people are into destroying other people, other candidates. And that's not right. That's so wrong. And I'm not into that, really. I'm, making an effort to accomplish something, to build something, and make something better, make something happen.
Well, I think that's inspiring. I like that a lot. So, in our current political environment, the majority of eligible voters are disengaged and no longer believe that electoral politics offers solutions to the challenges we face. How does your campaign and the Green Party in general overcome this cynicism and pessimism to build the movement that can bring the real change that we need?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been reading this book by, it's an interview, David Barsimian of Noam Chomsky. And one of the passages in this book has to do with 70% of the population is disenfranchised with politics. They have, understandably or whatever, the idea that it doesn't matter. They don't matter. Well, I want to see that change. I look upon myself as an equalizer. You have all this power and all this and all that. Well, what do I have? In a democracy, I have a vote. And the people who I would represent have votes. And even though there's all this whatever power that wants to take that away, wants to neutralize it, wants to make it so that it's not important, now it is important. And that is the one thing that can be done, that can happen to make a difference, to put people in positions who care, essentially care about making things right. And that's what I want to do.
Well, that's pretty cool. I think you just say Daniel Karam, the equalizer. So, with that, how can folks interested in hearing more and helping out your campaign get connected with you and your campaign to bring that change that you're offering to the state government?
Well, I don't know exactly what the question is, but
How can people get a hold of you? How can
Oh,
people,
yeah,
how
okay.
can people join your cause?
all right. I'm available online through a website with the Green Party, Missouri. Punch in my name, and yeah, I'll come up. There'll be a bio. There'll be some video. And I've been talking to people recently, and they've been liking the ideas that I've been presenting. And I will say that in October, especially in October, and I'm going to try to set it up in September, but in October, I'll push for volunteers. I mean, I'm not asking for money. I mean, I'm not turning away donations, but volunteers. If people will be willing to give some of their time, I'm going to try to work on trying to have something for people to do. And they can reach me through an email. That's Daniel David, DANIEL DAVIDA at Gmail, or they can text at 600-1297. I've already mentioned the website. And I'm working for the future. I mean, why am I doing this? Really, I'm trying to sow something here. I'm trying to put something out to the future generations. That, oh, he doesn't have a chance. Oh, they're gonna run over him. Oh, da 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 da. And who knows? Maybe that's the way it's gonna be. But in the future, I hope people will be able to look at and see some of these ideas and pick up on them and go forward. In other words, this is this is a teaching effort. I'm out there to reach out to people, to the future people, so that they will be able to benefit. That's my desire. That's my effort. So,
Daniel, I think that you have a very generous spirit in this. I personally thank you for running as Green Party candidate there in the Missouri State House District 37, and wish you all the best, and onward and upward and to victory, sir.
okay, I'll just read a little something that I wrote. It's not fascism, racism, communism, not necessarily capitalism that are at the root of the problem of our social system errors and allow misinformation to confuse our views and keep us from recognizing the real causes and from choosing valid solutions to deal with things that are leading human society to destruction and mayhem. It's plutocracy, a system of privilege and power that allows those with much to keep what they have and increase it, while that which the majority has decreases. It's a system of those who hold excessive wealth by those who use excessive wealth to increase excessive wealth. And by its very nature, fewer and fewer will benefit from this activity, while more and more will become deceived and captivated by this downward spiral to economic slavery. It's what the very rich are fighting for, and because they are increasingly affecting the legislatures through lobbying and political contributions, it's what we have to fight against for democracy in the United States.